Welcome back to Combat Mission, where we're going to take a look at mods, how to install them, what they can do, and a selection of the ones I find really useful. Installing mods is really easy. For Steam users, go to Steam Library, Steam Apps, Common, find the right Combat Mission game, and then open the Data folder. Mods live in a folder here named Z. There isn't one by default. If you don't have one, you can just make one. So if you have a mod you want to install, just paste it into your Z folder. You might need to unpack or unzip the file, depending on the format that you downloaded it in, but that's all there is to it. It's dead simple. In general, mods for Combat Mission are limited to changing the audio and visual elements of the game. So you can change how things look and how things sound, but you can't change the underlying mechanics. You can't add new units, change up tables of organization and equipment, stuff like that. There are some mods, like the Heaven and Earth mod, that can change the 3D models assigned to units, but functionally these are reskins of existing units rather than something entirely new. Despite these limitations though, you can get a lot of mileage out of audio and visual changes. I have a pretty standard set of mods that I like to play the game with. First and foremost amongst these are Vin's geometric icons. The base unit icons aren't always easy to read, especially when there's a lot of them. Vin's icons makes two big changes. The background colours are lighter, so we get more contrast and they're easier to read, and the shape of the icon varies between different unit types. This makes it really easy to tell at a glance what you're looking at. In my opinion, it's a real must-have mod that improves Combat Mission's playability. There are other unit icon mods out there as well, usually replacing the generic icons with NATO standard Russian or World War II era symbols, and they can all be useful, particularly if you're trying to learn the symbologies. Second, the vanilla explosions and smoke can be a bit underwhelming, so I like to run Vane's special effects. This mod helps make the carnage a bit more colourful, and it really hammers home when there's a chunky detonation. It's important to have some care with effects mods like this, because they can change how you perceive what's going on in the game. Modded smoke, for example, might look a lot cooler than the vanilla smoke, but it also might give you a false impression of how it's impacting visibility. Another example is a mod that removes the tracer effect from weapons fire. This is more realistic, but it means you have a much harder time as the player getting your head around who's shooting at what. That might be something that you want if you're going for a super hardcore experience. I generally prefer to know what my pixel triplet know. For sound, I usually use Waclaw's HQS sound mod. Again, this really jazzes up the vanilla audio, really makes things punch, and it really makes the firefights suitably scary. The downside to the HQS mod is that it's a big mod, and some of the files are also quite long, which gives Combat Mission sound system some problems if there's a lot going on. Massed automatic gunfire, for example, can cause the sound to cut out. There does need to be a lot of gunfire to do that though, so it's an edge case, and there are other good sound mods out there as well. Finally, and something I only use in the modern titles, we have Rambler's Night Vision mode. This changes the desaturated movie mode filter, which you can activate by pressing Alt-M, to a green filter. And if you combine that with Alt and B, or artificial brightness, at night, you get a really good night vision effect. It's pure eye candy, it's useful for making videos with, and it's less weird than using the artificial brightness on its own when you want to see what's going on at night. Those are my standard mods. As an added bonus, they all either work across all the Combat Mission titles, or there are versions available for each one. The best places to find mods these days are the Few Good Men, the Battlefront forums, and the 2 Combat Mission discords, and to reiterate, they are super easy to install. Just download them and stick them in the Z folder. It makes them a topic that's very quick to cover, but it's still obtuse enough for people not to be able to work it out on their own. So, hope you found that useful, and I'll catch you in the next video.